Namaste everyone, welcome. This is the cosmic weather forecast for the super blue moon in the sign of Aquarius. I have been acting so goofy all morning. This energy is contagious. I love it. Hi Roxy, hi everyone, thank you for joining. The gates are wide open, okay? We are really in some opportunistic time to experience some expression of our lives that is yet to be experienced. The way that I was hearing it was start walking the dream. You know, it's like living the dream. Here it's like walk the dream. Hi from Italy, awesome. So some of you, again, acknowledge all of your emotions, okay? Because I saw someone saying that they were sad. There's a reason that you're experiencing a bunch of stuff, okay? Again, I meditate every day, so I've been processing a lot. Sadness can be also part of those things. Let me show you, because that's kind of very busy here, okay? So first, when we're looking at the full moon, what's happening is that when you're working with your life force, when you're working with your connection to the cosmos, how things move you, okay, and put you on purpose, following your weird, okay, W-Y-R-D, your destiny, okay? So, you're going to look at the sun and the moon from this center, okay? And this is why we have a dance, new moon, they're merged together. There's an intention we're setting. And then this whole process of unveiling. So when you're in the full moon effect, you have like this placement where the moon, which is in tarot, it's the high priestess. This is where you're being shown behind the scenes, okay? You're understanding things from behind the scenes. The new moon cycle that we're experiencing right now through the Leo archetype is all about creating new sets of values. You know, really acknowledging how without health, we can have wealth, okay? How maybe experiencing peace is part of being successful. You know, especially if you're going a lot of chaos, okay? So there's a whole, you know, revamping of what's cool, what's trendy, okay? And I love this. So now when you're in the full effect, which is, okay, you're being shown certain truth. The position here of the sun merged with the Mercury retrograde. So here, this is the sun card. Mercury retrograde is the magician reversed. The magician is connected to the power of you creating your reality through your words and thoughts. So when they merge here, those degrees of Leo, they're actually very much about how do you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, okay? So we have an opposition here with Aquarius, which is an archetype that shows you how to be a way shower. Just walk it, and you'll figure it out, okay? So kind of like following your bliss, following your intuition, following what moves you, okay? So here, I love this because this experience is going to reveal to you some of your epigenetics. Let me explain to you, okay? So I actually happened to listen to this, I think it was 2 days ago, and I was like, oh my God, I can feel this is the full moon, okay? There was this study about rats, okay? So they're in a cage, and every time they try to escape the cage, they're being zapped. They continue trying and trying and trying and being zapped and zapped and zapped, okay? Then they stop trying. Okay, there's a conditioning. We're not doing this anymore. Okay, we're being zapped every time we try to escape. What happens is that when those rats have babies, those babies, even if the gates are open, they're not trying to escape. So this is showing you how the conditioning of the past generations. And some of you, it's even past lifetimes. Things you experienced at a soul level. Trauma, contrast, okay? That is affecting you in this current moment. So if you want a quantum leap, if you want to create a reality that is something that is in tune with your dreams, you know, all those things you aspire to, this super blue moon, okay, energy, the full moon energy in Aquarius is going to reveal to you some of those ties, okay, some of those energy ties, especially as you see here, the moon is in the 4th house, the home, childhood. What did you inherit? What did you inherit that is in opposition to manifesting? Here it's in the 10th house, to manifesting your higher purpose. If you work with esoteric astrology, the 10th house, okay, which is esoteric astrology, when you work with the houses, is about the embodiment of your higher self. This is the house of the higher purpose. So right now it's showing you, okay, you say, you claim to the universe, you want to live your dream, you want to start walking this experience. You gotta look at what is still keeping you back, holding you back. The amount of awareness, even to the point of why I chose the mother I chose, the father I chose, and how it almost had nothing to do with them, but to recreate a trauma that was more ancient than I could even like fathom. And I was like, oh my Lord, this thing has been following me for so long. And it's almost like some of you, you know those fears, those sad moments, this moment of despair. You've already tapped into those timelines, but you have yet to walk the whole tape back, okay? Instead of like walking a scenario forward, okay, if I do this, this happened, okay? No. It's like right now, it's like if I do this, there's like a whole set of emotion that comes. A whole set of emotion, okay? When you're in that space, no matter how uncomfortable it is, this is when you want to ask yourself, where does it stem from? And it's going to... it's going to require of you to play a little bit of like Cluedo, puzzle. You're going to want to be a little detective, okay? I don't know, some of you, if you like this type of game, I love it. I'm like a big fan of puzzles. Like literally, I just like, if I start one, I dream about it. I just like, I'm totally obsessed. So that's the energy that we're in right now. There's this huge portal. We know it with the whole Lionsgate. By the way, some of you think it's closed. It's not closed, okay? Until the end of that season, okay? The alignments are very, very powerful, especially if you work with different astrology and astronomy, okay? The portal is still open until the 22nd, okay? So we're seeing here, just like the example of those cages being opened, and the descendant, those baby rats, not even trying. So some of you, you might not even realize that you're not even giving yourself a fair chance. You see what I mean? You're not even trying, because it's almost like you didn't even let yourself fantasize about it, or even think it could happen to you. Oh, those things don't happen to me. You know, I had someone recently that told me, like, you know, I'm a realist. And I was like, I'm like, I am so not. And not because I don't face reality. It's more that I've always felt that if I had to look at reality and say, from this reality, this is what I can expect, I was going to be doomed. Okay? Some of you, you don't know maybe my story. At some point, I'm going to have to put it somewhere on the page, you guys. Okay? But I broke my hip twice. Okay? And the second time, I manifested almost like like paralysis on the right side. It was temporary, but I had to learn how to walk again. I manifested so many accidents all on the right side. The mental, the masculine side, okay, FYI, okay? So I was using way too much of my mind to force moving forward, but it did help me with not letting what at the time was the doctors. I was told by the age of 40, you will have a cane. You will always have a limp. And I was like in my 20s. Like, what? That's my destiny? That's what you predict to me? So I couldn't afford being a realist, if some of you understand what I'm saying. It's like I had to imagine myself, my future was going to be one where I am walking, dancing, running. By the way, I hate running. And I remember when the doctors gave me this diagnosis, the first thing, gosh, that was probably not smart. But as soon as I waited for the whole year, they told me not to do anything, which was a very bad advice. I started running until I ran for an hour and a half and just realized, oh my God, I hate running. I proved my point. Bye. Never ran again. I mean, yes, here and there, but not like that type of running. But I wanted to share this little story because some of you, maybe that's what you need to hear as far as like, are you being too realistic about what's possible for you? And some of us, we may have had experiences as drastic as the one I'm sharing, where you really had to believe in something that was being told to you that was not possible, okay? So that's what you're going against, okay? So we're really transcending a lot of our limitation. What I'm seeing here that I want to mention also, okay, we have, some of you, you know, I've been posting about the wild feminine rising, okay? This reel has been really popular, and by the way, that's also for you, my gents out there, okay? This is not gender, this is the feminine, this is your intuition. This is you walking through the heart field, through what moves you instead of what you think you can do, okay? You're gonna get exhausted if you start just always using your head to move through those obstacles. And by the way, I talk from experience, okay? So through my journey of learning how to walk again, I manifested more injuries. I sprained my rib cage, broke my hand. I was like a disaster because I was trying to push with the mind. No, this is not going to be my fate. No, this is not. And again, I've learned valuable lessons. But was it the easiest way? Oh, no. Okay? And here, you know, you're really seeing that there's a lot. You see here like that little Chiron retrograde. Some of you, if you want to get some messages about this Chiron retrograde, it's so important. It's helping you to rectify things that are out of balance. Okay, some of you, you might be feeling out of balance. Look at this. It's creating with your Chiron here. Everyone's wound, whatever your wound is, okay, is being creating what is called a mystical rectangle. Look at this line, going to this cluster, okay? Then, connected to the rising. I put this here, this is the muse of astrology. See, right now astrology is supporting a lot of people, okay? All my realists are coming to it too. Because we're shifting, okay? So here, who you're becoming, and then follow this line to the moon. So sun, moon, Chiron, and who you're becoming is creating something called, okay, the mystical rectangle. If some of you do not know how this acts, because for me, secret geometry is creating an emotion, okay? If you don't have it, you might not know it, okay? It's like you're looking like you're super cool on the outside to everyone, but inside you're like a mess. So some of you, you may have that in your chart, your natal chart. So that means like people will have a very hard time seeing when you're struggling, okay? So right now, collectively, we might all be experiencing, you know, like people not realizing when we're looking at each other, how each other's wounds have been affecting us. You know, you might not like that story about me breaking my hip and having to learn how to walk again. When you look at me, would you see that? Would you see how all that I have transcended to be here? And how did I land here? So this is for you that I'm saying this, because you're the one that knows that story. You're the one that has to harness the potential of all that you had to surmount, to overcome, all the days that you were down, that you had to pull yourself back up. And through this, you're going to find more and more some of the strength, some of the lessons that are going to open up more and more some of those invisible cages, those invisible energy prisons. Okay, you're going to discover it, but you cannot even see the prisons if you're not seeing already how much you've accomplished. There's a lot of people that don't realize when they're working with manifest things that they haven't yet seen or experienced. Okay, you're working through the unseen, you're working through the dark, okay, you're going in a place you haven't been. How do you stop the fears? Okay, it's because you're going to shine your inner light. So when you go inside, within, when you start working on sitting still and facing what could be constricting your light. This is why I love meditation. This is why I love breath work. This is why I love yoga. All this is actually for me for a tool to bring more light into the pathways of where I want to go that I haven't been before. So the light, you're never in the dark. If you feel you're in the dark, it's because your focus is too outward. You're looking out. Well, this is like pitch black, Audrey. But if you're looking here, it's not. And the light that I'm talking about is knowing thyself. Know where you come from. Know all the things. And usually some people, when they tell me like, Audrey, what's my purpose and what's my expertise? The things that you surmounted, the things that you had to experience, the contrast is usually part of the purpose. It's going to be so precious. And right now it's very important because you see it's almost like it's making you become a version of yourself that you don't even know can be. It's something that is so much greater, so much bigger, okay? So we have a lot that we're transcending. You see, there's a lot of energies, and I'm going to go into my yard. Okay, some of you are new to the channel and you've never seen me point my finger. This is actually a sacred geometry. I don't mean to point at you, but the universe is pointing at us. Okay, we have two of them. We have Uranus here, okay, with Neptune retrograde and pointing to the rising, which also we have the muse of astrology here, Urania. If some of you like to look at astrology, this is the asteroid number 30. Okay, you might want to look at where is Urania in your chart. So the universe is like, tick, 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 tick. You have to become weird. You have to follow your weird. This is about those degrees of Taurus, and where Uranus here is all about introspection. And this is a planet that makes you grow and evolve. That means like what you had to grow already, outgrow, is part of your becoming. Okay? But there's certain things, you know, certain things like here with Neptune, there's certain illusions. Thank you so much, you guys. There's some illusions here. As far, especially in the 5th house, what you're capable of doing, okay? That you're not seeing, but there's like, it's almost like every time you have a door that says no, every time you're being told that's not possible, every time you have a naysayer, like, realize that it's also inspiring you to transcend, because especially if the goal is something that you are really meant to achieve. Not from a mind place, but from a heart place, okay? So I love this energy because right now, everyone is being told, start walking. The dream, your dream, start walking, okay? And then we have also another finger. So it's like, tickle, tickle. Okay. We have here Pluto retrograde. Okay. Again. With Neptune retrograde here. Okay. And it's like going to the Sun and the Mercury retrograde. And here it's all about showing you like where are you limiting yourself? Where are you limiting yourself as a purpose? And again, you know, sometimes, and I think I posted about this in some reels, you know, your purpose is not really what you do. It's what happens when you do what you do. It's what happens in you. Not so much of the people watching, even though this is great when you share that energy that you manifest inside. So yesterday, for example, I had like great news for my soul tribe, the ones that, you know, connect with me on the YouTube membership. I was able to have all my live meditation events now that are going to be on YouTube. And I remember just like, you know, leaving DMs to my soul tribe. And I'm like, oh my God, I finally figured it out. It's working. All the glitches are ending. And one of them said, oh my God, I love the excitement. It's like I'm feeling an explosion of stars. And that's the excitement. So what was happening to me was something that I was seeing was like being conveyed. And that's your purpose. If your purpose is just to be happy, it's where it starts. Because when you do things that make you happy, it's contagious to everyone around you. And the ones that don't get happy like that, okay, well, you're a trigger for them. You're a trigger for them to find their own happiness. Okay, I have this shape with Chiron in my chart opposite my, yeah. So some of you, yeah, you might have a lot. There's a lot of secret geometry here. There's one more, there's the kite here, okay? And the kite is, you see this beautiful, okay, trine, grand trine? That means who you're becoming and what you're seeing that was limiting you is going to expand you. Now, you're seeing this is in the 8th house, okay? 8th house is quantum entanglement. Yesterday, I was watching something, and by the way, it should be on my stories still, where I think it was a Joe Rogan live, and he was saying that we have discovered, like, we can look at the shape of photons of quantum entanglement, like how it looks like. Do you know how it looks like? We know the symbol, like we use it all the time. It looks like yin-yang symbol. I was mind blown. I was like, what? Okay. So what I love about yin-yang is like the self-mastery of knowing how to balance feminine and masculine. Yes, I know, right? And that's what I was sharing even like in my journey of like all my injuries. It was all happening of freaking like I was breaking everything on the right side. Okay? And what was interesting is that I knew I was using too much mind to force. Okay? So here, what you're seeing here is that, and that's where my feminine energy rising up. The feminine energy wants to rise up because it wants to take you out of your prison, the unknown that you fear so much. And it's creating this beautiful energy with also here the Chiron. Okay, so some of you, I'm going to tell you, you have on the channel here on Instagram, but also on YouTube, a special Chiron retrograde in Aries. Go and check that out. Okay, some of you that are part of my YouTube membership, I have shared with all member levels, okay, a live energy session for Jupiter in Gemini. This is all about healing, deepening your connection to your feminine essence. Okay, so that means really helping you to lead from your heart. So those are the things that are really important to me, because the way that I got out of my own predicament was to let my emotions lead the way. And they were not always pretty. I got a bunch of A-files, bunch of Scorpio. Yes, to feel the knowing instead of thinking. That is so well said. Evolving and free. I love this name, by the way. Okay, so that's what I have. By the way, if you really enjoy this energy, I also have on my YouTube a tarot oracle card guidance. So a pick a card. So there's 4 piles. You can choose according to your signs, or you can just choose the card that calls you. I was very excited about this, because there's energies that we're experiencing collectively, and there's specific messages. So if you want more messages, go on my YouTube channel. It should be on my bio link. Okay, you should see. Actually, it posted at 8, so it should be there. Scorpio stellium here. Oh, hello. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this fantastic journey together. I'm sorry, I thought I was gonna finish, but right now I saw the North Node like glowing at me, okay, and I have to acknowledge it. We have here the South Node that is dancing with Nyx. Nyx is the goddess of the night. She is a different frequency. Okay, what I mean by this, it's like, it's a frequency that only when you're still with your heart can you start. It's very magnetic. The way that I can illustrate her energy would be, have you ever messed up with a little bit of the quantum field, okay? Her energy is as if when you're entering a room, you can feel the tension, people's attention gravitating to you. It's almost like you can feel there's a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit like Matrix, like the movie, okay? So this is the type of energy that you're working with Nyx, this goddess, okay? So some of you, if you want to subscribe to the Instagram, you will have access to energy messages. And why I'm saying this, it's because you're going to receive, okay, through this time and the next couple of weeks, a lot of messages from your past lives, and those are going to give you keys to the things that you might not realize have been limiting you, keeping you from walking the dream, and just like stepping into those new timelines that you're creating. Okay, so that's, yeah. Sorry, but the goddess energy needs to be acknowledged, otherwise I'm gonna just I just felt it. I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're going there. Anyways, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I see you. Cosmic blessings your way. Namaste.